Yes, this is a module that we all want to be in, and if you're in the element of success, then we want to give you the tools necessary with New Success Path to move you from success into significance. And this is a typical scenario and characteristics for someone that is financially successful now, even in this new economy that we're forced into. Typically, these type people have really good educational skills or specialized skills, or that would be like a business owner that has specialized system skills. It would be someone who's living in a nice home, nice transportation, able to do anything they need to do to keep their families going in a very comfortable lifestyle. This is typically a situation where you have good management of your cash flow. Your cash flow engine is very healthy. You've got a significant amount of income, so you're able to cover your basic expenses pretty easy. And it gives you an easier time to develop that positive cash flow at the end of the month for your cash flow engine. Now the question is, what do you do in order to move from the successful level to the significance level? And the main difference is the development of income-producing assets. And we're just going to touch on the anger issues, because most of the anger issues have gone away at this stage. If you remember, back in the survival stage, you were really angry and depressed at your plight in life and that where you were in life, and that you just really couldn't break out. And then remember, as we moved up into the stagnation area and then into the striving area, all of a sudden the anger shifted, and the anger became more of an anger at the government and its foolishness, and how the government has no clue as to how to solve our massive economic problems. And so now the anger is pretty much, mainly because the government is trying to spend its way out of trouble here and just trash the value of the dollar for your children and grandchildren. And that's really, the anger is in the government stupidity and in their solution, which of course is very foolish and will definitely destroy the dollar in its wake. Now, short term for yourself and your family, it's not that big of a deal, because even if they trash the dollar and the government trashes the dollar, it's not going to affect you nearly as much as it's going to hurt your children and your grandchildren, because that's where it really snowballs. And it's the worst tax of all. I mean, it's a whole lot worse than income tax or any other kind of tax, because inflation and hyperinflation, it just devastates people. So that would be the anger part. So we're going to move past the anger part, and we're going to get more on the development of income-producing assets. And that comes primarily with even going to a higher level of business systems management. If you'll remember, back in the striving mode, we were going to develop some business systems and take a business systems approach. Even if you weren't a business owner, your job was a business system. Well, now we're going to take that to a higher level, and we're going to make sure that your business system is fine-tuned to maximize monthly cash flow. If you're a business owner, you're going to have the business system fine-tuned to the point where it's so stable that you'll be able to incorporate other elements into it. Now, let me stop being generic and let me be more specific. If you have a business that has to rent a place to operate, let's say it's a retail business and you have to rent a storefront, or let's say it's an office type business, you have to rent an office, or let's say it's a construction type business and you have to rent a warehouse. If there's real estate involved, and if you have to pay rent for the use of the real estate, why shouldn't you be your own landlord? Because the real estate can be a wonderful income-producing asset for yourself. So if you have the business over here and it rents the building here from you, that is an income-producing asset. So if you were to sell that business down the road, you would still get the income off of that rent. Or if you were to pass that business to a future generation, or if you were to just sell the business to go to another city, then you could bring another tenant into that building and still generate that income producing asset. That building, that real estate would be an income producing asset for you. And at that point, you can even use leverage. In other words, you can even put a mortgage on that building. Now, the fallacy that we've had before 2009 is that everything goes up and real estate always goes up, real estate never goes down. And so if you can get a 100% mortgage, good for you. You know, maximum leverage, minimum down, maximum leverage on income producing assets. In today's economy, that's not very wise. You need to make sure you have adequate equity in that property so that if there was a downturn, or if this downturn was to sustain itself for any period of time, that you would still have the cushion to be able to continue. So that's just one example of an income producing asset in conjunction with a business. We will have additional modules that will actually talk about each individual income producing asset for you. So stay tuned for those modules because that'll really help you. But the goal to move from success to significance is to get more and more of these income producing assets. The more that you can get, you can just keep adding them up on a cumulative basis to where at some point the bulk of your income is coming from those assets instead of from your efforts on a day-to-day basis. Okay? This is Ray Knopfsinger at NewSuccessPath.com, and the next module is moving from success to significance module. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.